What's up, guys? Welcome back to The Educated Barfly. My name is Leandro Demon Riva, and today we are doing our very first home bar advanced episode. Now, this episode I was kind of struggling with, like, is it an advanced episode or is it a home bar basics episode? But really, I decided, well, Marius and I both had a conversation about it, and really this does fall down into an advanced episode. Because we are doing something that's not like necessary, but it's something that will raise your cocktail game up a lot. Now, a lot of people have noticed that I use some really nice big rocks of clear ice in my cocktails on this channel, and it is entirely possible for you guys to do this at home. And you don't really need a lot of specialized equipment. The only thing that you need is a 5-liter Coleman removable lid cooler. Maybe another company makes it, but Coleman does this particular design, and it works pretty brilliantly, and some water. I have taken the liberty of linking this cooler below so you guys can all go buy one. They are relatively cheap, and I just want to say that this is going to become a series of videos, and it's not going to be for everyone because we're going to be showing you guys how to make syrups and cocktails and different things using some pretty advanced equipment that you will need to go buy if you don't already have it. But it's going to be pretty exciting, so I really hope that you guys stick with me. Okay, let's talk about clear ice. Well, why do you want to have clear ice? Or what is clear ice? Clear ice is ice that is gotten all the impurities and all of the gases and all of the bubbles taken out of it, and it's fully clear. And the reason why I think you'd want to have this in your cocktails, the reason why I think people should have this in their cocktails, is because even though cloudy ice and clear ice chill a cocktail in the exact same way, one is not really better than the other. Why I would just pose this question to you: why would you futz over every little detail of a cocktail only to put, an ugly piece of ice in your cocktail? I think that it provides you with a much better visceral experience when you make cocktails with clear ice, and I also think that your first visceral experience of a cocktail is really, really important. I often say to people over the bar, like, a very awesome cocktail that looks really crappy is going to taste worse than a crappy cocktail that looks awesome. So that's why people spend a lot of time garnishing cocktails and making them look beautiful, and really this is one of the ways that you can do that. So I'm not going to get too much on the science behind how this is done, but what we're doing here is we're going to be putting water into a cooler and then we're going to be freezing it. And the reason why you want to do that is because the impurities in ice freeze last. So when you put water into a cooler, you are sort of mimicking the way a lake freezes, in that you are, all the sides are insulated and you leave the top exposed to the air. So what happens is that you're forcing the ice to freeze from the top down. And since those impurities and those gases and stuff, that cloudy ice sort of forms last, they get pushed to the bottom, and so you have this nice big column of clear ice. The water that I am using, just to prove a point, is tap water. Now, usually I use bottled water because I live in Los Angeles and I don't really trust the water that comes out of my tap. In places where you have really great tap water, you can just use your tap water. Heating the water up might give you a slight edge because the heat disperses the gas a little bit more, but not really. And then also using distilled water is not really a must. You can still get clear ice. It's really just the method of freezing that will make this work properly. So basically this is what we're gonna do. We're just gonna take 5 liters of water, and or like a little under 5 liters of water really, and we're just gonna pour it into this cooler. Now, because ice expands, you want to make sure that you leave a little space on top, about 1 inch to 1/2 inch, because this ice will expand. When I take this cooler out of the freezer, you will see that the sides kind of bulge out and the bottom will bulge out because that ice is sort of expanded, and the ice level will raise a little bit. So you just want to make sure that it doesn't overflow. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to put this onto a shelf in our freezer. Now, because I'm awesome, I pre-prepped one of these. So I'm just going to put this in a freezer. I'm going to go get the one I pre-prepped. I'll be back in a second. So here we go. We're back with our ice. Now, what you need to do is put this upside down, and you kind of got to let the sides temper. This might take a little second. You don't want to run it under hot water or anything because the hot water can crack the inside of the ice. Then you have sort of ice cracks in the middle. And what we're looking for here is clear ice. And while I let this temper, I'm actually going to pull out a knife. And I'm probably going to need this bin. Now, I wish this bin was a little smaller but I didn't want to make a big mess. And what you'll notice when this ice decides to come out of here is that over 24 hours, that last little column of ice where all the impurities came out, if you just freeze this for 24 hours, you will notice that there is a little bit of water left in there. So it hasn't fully frozen because it's taking so long to freeze because it's insulated and it's freezing very slowly. Here it comes. Cool. Let's see if you can see this. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this on camera, but if you can see this, you'll notice that there's a little hole in here. There's actually a little bit of holes, but you'll notice, I don't know if Marius can get in close on this, there's bubbles in here, and there's a column of ice, there's a column of water in here that didn't get frozen, but all the ice on the top is fully clear. So the reason why I pulled out this bin is because what we're going to do is stab this ice away. I wish I had like a shallower bin to show this for you, but the last time I did this, I made such a big mess in the kitchen that I just don't want to make a big mess. So I'm going to put this ice into our bin, and then I'm just going to stab it, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to lift it up so you guys can see. So as you can see, it's not fully frozen, and you have like a little pocket that had water in it. And what we're going to do is we're just going to pull all this ice out away and make a big mess on the counter while we're doing it. And what you have left is this, well, we can also get rid of this. What we have left is this nice clear piece of ice that's fully clear. Now, I will say this, you want to start with room temperature water, if not hot water, because if you do cold water, you're going to get lots of little bubbles in your ice. I'm not going to tell you why that happens. I'm just going to tell you that it does happen. And if you test me on it, you're going to find out that they're going to have little bubbles. And you don't want to have a lot of those little bubbles. As you can see, actually, there's a little bit of bubbles in here. And then what you want to do is wait till it tempers, and then you can cut it. And you can cut it into any shape that you want. I did an ice cutting episode a long time ago. I think it's kind of antiquated and maybe we need to redo it. I don't think I'm gonna just like cut this whole thing here for you guys, but you wanna make sure that when you cut your ice that it's tempered, because tempered ice comes apart very easily and you can get it to cut into a straight column as long as you're using a nice sharp knife. And then also, you know, it's also nice to have like a little mallet, whether you have a mallet that came with a Lewis bag, like a little, or just like an ice mallet. But you don't want to cut it when it's frosted, because when it's frosted, it's very brittle. Anyway, there you have it, guys. Clear ice.